Welcome to part 2 of Actors Reporters coverage of the Feel Good Film Festival. I'm your host, Brett Walkow. Let's go meet some people.
Well, I read the script, I thought it was wonderful, and so I had just worked with Sam on a TV production, and we figured this has to happen. So we helped them find some locations, helped them with equipment, and had a great time making the film.
It's a kid adventure film, you know. It's kind of, I tried to make the movies that I grew up with, and I always was captivated by movies where kids kind of go off and do their own thing, absent of adults. And so this movie is about two kids who steal a car and head to Las Vegas in search of their estranged father, who they may or may not find. It's hard because every studio I go to with the script that's based with kids, they all say, well, where's the big actor, because he can't put the big name on it. So I just went out and did this myself, and you know, we didn't have a big name actor, and we're struggling with distribution, but I'm glad we did it, and I think it's great, and hopefully people do too.
Well, the name of the film is called Catching Dreams, and it's a circus documentary, and it's about my twin brother Brian here's quest to become a Cirque du Soleil acrobat. Well, yeah. Well, I am the subject of the film. My brother followed me around the world for about 8 years in my quest to join Cirque du Soleil. I don't really want to give away the ending right now, but it is a long, arduous journey to make it to the top of the circus world.
It's called My Winning Another Secrets. It's about a New Zealand Chinese girl called Emily, and she falls in love with a Caucasian male, and it's about her managing this relationship with very strict parents who have threatened to disown her if they find out. So that's the secret.
I actually, I knew the director, and she put a casting out, and originally didn't think that I would be right for the role, but I called her and I said I'd love the chance to audition for you anyway. Went in, had a call back, got it. So that's kind of my inspirational story for all actors out there. All you have to do is ask, because you never know what might happen.
I went back to college when I was 60 years old and found that there was a glaring absence of information about women in the profession of landscape architecture. So we wrote a few stories about it, interviewed a lot of women, and finally made this film. I was really hoping to get into this festival. I like the idea of the festival. I like the idea. I think our film fits in beautifully because you leave the theater feeling good. And you have a great appreciation for the women who have done this work. And any young woman would have a great inspiration to go back to college and even enter this profession.
I got involved with this festival because a friend of mine was working with me on the movie The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville, which, although it was a Farrelly Brothers film, was a very big feel-good film.
Right.
And so she asked me if I'd be interested in judging, and I said I love things that end happily, or at least bring you up in life. So yeah, I guaranteed her that I'd be there that year, and I've been with the festival ever since, because there's not many festivals like this that are like for everybody, that make everybody feel good, and nobody feels like they're, you know, shut in the back room just because they have a happy attitude.
Complexity is a coming-of-age romantic comedy. It's a feature film. It follows a young woman during this transitional period in her life where she sort of understands that she shouldn't be a pleaser anymore, and it's cute. It's a cute little feature film.
As we all know, you know, taking on a woman's perspective is really challenging. My girlfriend tells me that every day. So did you find it was very challenging?
Yeah, but you know what? I like to think I understand women, so...
Well, barely you do. You're obviously acclaimed at this festival, and obviously people are feeling good about it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Penny's a short film about the power of one wish to change someone's life. The film stars Reginald VelJohnson, Don Stark, Lance Barber, and some other of our favorite actors. And so it's about a fountain that has been chosen to be decommissioned by the city because of budget cuts, and our one fountain repairman has one chance to save the fountain.
We were scouting locations. We saw like hundreds of fountains, and every time we had to stop and throw a penny in and make a wish, because we're making a movie about throwing pennies into fountains. We got to throw a penny into every fountain we see or come across, and I still do that to this day.
It's a 30-minute documentary that's very much about how to transform a painful past into a joyful present. It features a Holocaust survivor and 4 generations of her family, and how through painting and through music they create joy. This is my family. This is my mother-in-law's story, and her daughter, who is a painter and wanted to paint to reconnect with a lost child, her uncle who was lost in the war, through painting.
Well, it began a long time ago. That's what the film is about. It tells you the story of how my work has inspired this project that has been a 5-year project, inviting people all over the city to rub the streets and buildings, the cars in their neighborhoods, and contribute their rubbings to my project. We have over 5,000 rubbings that we've collected, and the film tells you all about the project and how it began and how it has affected people. Because when you're in touch with your neighborhood, that means you have to really touch your neighborhood. So doing that, you put a piece of paper on a surface, you rub it, and it comes up with a beautiful texture.
The film is a feel-good, quirky, romantic comedy about a female scientist who wants proof that her boyfriend's the one. Well, in a former life, I was a scientist doing a PhD at Harvard, and I just wanted to know, is it possible to really be sure about the one you're with? And that's what inspired the movie.
Are you in the film?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you have fun in the film?
Yeah.
Yeah? What was your favorite part about the film?
About Mommy.
Oh, my mommy.
Fabulous is a narrative feature with documentary footage interwoven into it. It's an expose on what it's like living with clinical depression. And so the main character, Mel, who I play, makes a documentary within the film, and those are the interviews that are woven into the narrative. And it's a sort of a hero's journey of a woman who has this disease that she's ashamed of, and she comes out the other end okay with it and figures out how to take care of herself. So that's the positive ending, and that's why we're here at the Feel Good Film Festival.
The film is about the miracles that can happen when you combine kids from the YMCA with established artists to make recordings and performances, and the great things that can happen as a result of that.
That's really, really beautiful. And speaking of artists, you did the title track for the film, yes?
Yes. I'm one of the producers of the title track of the film, Hope Is in Me, Is It in You? Yeah, and it's a spoken word piece. It's on the CD. It's fabulous. I worked with a group of about 10 teenagers to do it.
Aphasia is a movie that came from all of our hearts. It deals with the loss of language.